Eighth graders, we're ready to talk about note cards. We discussed these in the library last week. If you weren't there or if you'd like a reference, here it is. The example I'll be using is from a website, so I have printed off at home, not at school. At home, or I could have done that at FedEx or Kinko's or a public library. I have printed the information and I have given it the same number up here in the corner as I have for this source. This is my first source. I could either number them, I could use a letter for clarity, I could also just use the color and know that everything that comes from this source is in green, for example. So I've got my source card here. There's no author, so I have NA up at the top. I have the title of the article, the publisher, and I've got the online site and when I accessed it. I also have here under the publisher the year that it was copyrighted, 2018. That's good, it's a current source. So now when I go to take my notes, which I've done for you in the interest of time, I'll show you 3 different ways that you can take notes. First, I want to repeat my source card number here. So I've got a big 1. Again, it could be an A, it could just be a green block. You'll want to save space though for which card this is. This is source 1, card number 1. The first way that we take notes is to copy exactly. So once you have your topic and then you decide specifics within that topic, subtopics, put that topic of this card here, not of the whole paper, but of this card. So if my topic were the importance of teaching children how to write better in a classroom, this is specifics on editing and revising. So my title up here is Editing and Revising for Young Writers. And I'm giving myself a little note here. This is this is my word here, so I put it in brackets. Anything that's mine and not directly from a text, I'm going to bracket so that I can tell the difference when I just look at it and I don't have to think, was this word in the quote? Was this a whole quotation? Is that my words? This does the trick for you. So if you have little symbols that you can use, that will help you. Here is the quote word for word from the source that I used. And it is step 2. So I told myself here, look for step 2. I've already marked on my printout the paragraphs, basically. In this case, it's step 1, 2, 3. So I marked this intro and then the same number over here as is here. Most of your sources won't work this way. You'll just have paragraphs. So go ahead and number each paragraph, and then that makes for easy reference for you and on your works cited page also. Step 2 talks about the need for revising to use different words. And so I wrote word for word, ask the child to underline words that he used more than once in a piece of writing, and so on. Ask the child to underline words that he used more than once in a piece of writing. Now, does that say a piece of writing? It does. Every a, the, and every single word, syllable matters. If you're putting quotes around this, it must be exactly as it was presented in the source. Now, here's another approach to paraphrase, to use your own words. If I didn't want to write this whole quote out, if I didn't think it was worth the space possibly, then I'm going to bracket it and put into my own words the gist of this. And so what I wrote for myself was use resources to replace overused words. I still need to cite this. That tip came from this source, so I have to give it credit. I didn't make up that tip on my own. I got it from my source. I have to give credit, even though I didn't quote it directly. Anytime you learn information that is not common knowledge, you need to cite it. And every time you use statistics, you need to cite those also. The third way that you can take information is to summarize. So if I just wanted to remind myself that this was an article with 7 different suggestions on how to edit and revise for young writers, then I would just write S for summary, colon, and tell myself that this site offers 7 suggestions from reading for misspellings to showcasing the finished product. I fit it all on one page, so I put 1 of 1. If I didn't, if I went on to another card, then this would be 1 of 2. But I'm going to say it's 1 of 1. I got it all there on one card. So that's all I need for note-taking. The more that you help yourself with the labeling at the start, including the topic, indicating to yourself what is your words, what is the author's words, that will save you so much time, and it will add accuracy and legitimacy to your work. Thank you very much. We'll see you in class.